Hello, my name is Amdata Yokofushola, and I'm going to be reading the eighth law of boundaries, which is going to be the law of envy. And I'm going to be reading from this book called Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend. So here we go. The New Testament speaks strongly about or against the envious heart. Consider James. You want something, you don't get it, you kill and covet, but you cannot have what you want. You quarrel and you fight. James 4:2. What does envy have to do with boundaries? Envy is probably the basest emotion we have. A direct result of the fall. It was Satan's sin. The Bible says that he had a wish to be like the Most High. He envied God. In turn, he tempted Adam and Eve with the same idea, telling them that they could be like God also. Satan and our parents, Adam and Eve, were not satisfied with who they were and could rightfully become. They wanted what they did not have, and it destroyed them. Envy defines good as what I do not possess and hates the good that it has. Now, how many times have you heard someone subtly put down the accomplishments of others, somehow robbing them of the goodness they had attained? We all have envious parts to our personalities. But what is so destructive about this particular sin is that it guarantees that we will not get what we want and keeps us perpetually insatiable and dissatisfied. This is not to say that it is wrong to want things we do not have. God has said that He will give us the desires of our heart. And the problem is, the problem with envy is that it focuses outside our boundaries onto others. If we're focusing on what others have or have accomplished, we're neglecting our responsibilities and ultimately have an empty heart. Look at the difference in Galatians 6:4. It says, each one should test his own action. Then he can take pride in himself without comparing himself to somebody else. Envy is a self-perpetuating cycle. Boundaryless people feel empty and unfulfilled. They look at another sense of fullness and feel envious. This time and energy needs to be spent on taking responsibility for their lack and doing something about it. Taking action is the only way out. We have not because we ask not. And the Bible says because we work not. Possessions and accomplishments are not the only things we envy. We can envy a person's character and personality instead of developing the gift God has given us, Romans 12:6. Now think of this situation. A lonely person stays isolated and envious of the close relationships others have. A single woman withdraws from social life, envying the marriages and families of her friends. A middle-aged woman feels stuck in her career and wants to pursue something she would enjoy, yet always has a yes, but reason why she can't, resenting and envying those who have gone for it. A person chooses the righteous life, but envies and resents those who seem to be having all the fun. These people are all negating their own actions, Galatians 6:4, and comparing themselves to others, staying stuck and resentful. Notice the difference between those statements and these. A lonely person owns his lack of relationships and asks himself in God, I wonder why I always withdraw from people. I can at least go and walk and talk to a counselor about this. Even if I'm afraid of social situations, I can seek some help. No one should leave this way. I'll make the call. The single woman asks, I wonder why I never get asked out and why I keep getting turned down for dates. What is wrong about what I'm doing and how I'm communicating? And where am I going to meet people? How could I become a more interesting person? Maybe I should join a therapy group to find out where, or I could subscribe to a dating service to find people with interests similar to mine. The middle aged woman asks herself, why am I reluctant to pursue my interest? Why do I feel selfish when I want to quit my job to do something I enjoy? What am I afraid of? And if I were really honest, I would notice that the ones who are doing what they like have had to take some risk and sometimes work and go to school to change jobs. That may just be more than I am willing to do. And the righteous person asks himself, If I'm really choosing to love and serve God, why do I feel like a slave? What is wrong with my spiritual life? What is it about me that envies someone living in the gutter? These people are questioning themselves instead of envying others. Your envy should always be a sign to you that you're lacking something. At that moment, you should ask God to help you understand what you resent. Why don't, why you do not have whatever you are envying and whether you truly desire it. Ask Him to show you what you need to do to get there or to give up the desire. So thank you so much for watching. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Bye.